Good morning, Northeast Kansas. You're watching KSNT News at 6.
Happening locally this morning, one dead and several wounded after a shooting erupts in southeast Topeka overnight. Plus, a conclusion after hours of waiting. A Lawrence standoff has come to an end. We'll tell you what caused it. And more than half a century later, it's been found. What was inside this wallet?
Another windy day is ahead for us, but changes are coming. I'll have the complete breakdown in your storm track forecast.
Good morning, I'm Austin Barnes.
And I am KSNT Storm Track meteorologist Vanessa Alonso. Thank you so much for waking up.
Now, Vanessa, we do have quite a bit of news to jump into this morning, so I'm going to go ahead and toss it over to you and let you get us updated on the weather.
Yes, there is also a lot going on in weather, Austin, so let's get right to it. We are waking up once again on a windy note. Right now, those sustained winds are coming very strong from the south, anywhere from 15 to 20 miles per hour. They will continue to gust up to 30 to 35 miles per hour once again today. So that is why we are still under that very high risk of fire. So please refrain from any outdoor burning today. If you can, please hold off till early next week. Now, we do have temperatures this morning in the mid to upper 50s across northeast Kansas, but we do have some clouds that are moving in, and this is all ahead of our next storm system that is right now well off to the west, but it's going to start moving into our area as we go into the next 24 hours. I'll have the complete breakdown and timing of that coming up in the next 5 to 10 minutes. Austin?
A woman is dead and 4 others are injured this morning after a shooting right here in the capital city. This all happened just a few hours ago. Officers responded to reports of a shooting near the intersection of 23rd and Southeast Bellevue just before midnight. Police tell KSNT News 3 people were taken to Stormont Vale Hospital in a private vehicle with minor gunshot wounds. Officers were then told about 2 more victims who were found near the Reese's plant on 6th Street. One of those victims was pronounced dead at the scene, and that would be that woman that we just updated you on there. That information just came into our newsroom this morning. The other was taken to the hospital. Officers are still working to figure out exactly what happened, but if you have any information about this incident, you are asked to call Topeka Police this morning. We'll continue to keep you up to date as more information does come in throughout the broadcast. Meanwhile, police are looking into another shooting that broke out at a northeast Topeka gas station. This is also new this morning. Officers responded to calls about the altercation here at the Quick Shop at Sardu and Wabash just after 8 o'clock last night. Police say multiple people were fighting with one another when one person pulled out a gun and fired shots into the ground. Officials say they don't believe anyone was injured in the fight. They think this incident could be gang-related. We're working to find out information about the suspects and what led to that shooting. 3 people are in the hospital this morning after their cars collided head-on with one another in North Topeka. We first told you about this accident last night. One of the drivers who had a child in the car was going westbound when they veered into the other lane. They collided with another car going eastbound around Northwest 46th and Camden. Both the driver and the child were taken to the hospital with serious injuries. There were 2 people in the other car as well. Only one of those passengers was taken to the hospital. We're not sure what the status of their injuries is this morning. A Lawrence man is behind bars this morning after a 10-hour standoff with police. It all took place at the hotel you see on your screen. Lawrence police officers responded to Riverfront Plaza just before 7:30 yesterday morning regarding a concern about a guest. According to the Lawrence Police Department, the subject was a 47-year-old white man who was possibly armed and locked inside a hotel room. When they arrived, officers started to communicate with the man. They began to evacuate guests and others from the hotel after hours of negotiation. They arrested that man and transported him by ambulance to an area hospital for a mental health evaluation. Meanwhile, a former paraeducator for the Lawrence School District has been convicted of sexually abusing one of her students. A Douglas County jury found 34-year-old Terry Lynn Johnson of Baldwin City guilty of unlawful sexual relations, sexual exploitation of a child, and promoting obscenity to minors. Her victim, who's now an adult, testified during the trial that he met Johnson while he was a student at the Douglas County Juvenile Detention Center's day school. The victim said his father eventually discovered sexual images and messages from Johnson on his phone. She will face a judge again for sentencing on April 14th. Police in Kansas City are entering day 3 of their search for the suspects caught on camera shooting at another car in broad daylight. We do want to warn you now, this video could be disturbing to some viewers. In the dash cam video shot Monday evening, you can see a vehicle with its windows rolled down, pulled up on the right. Suddenly, a gunman in that vehicle starts shooting off at least a dozen bullets in a matter of seconds from the back seat before speeding off. Amazingly, no one was hurt. Investigators believe the suspects targeted the car. Those living in the area say it's been plagued by violence. They say the neighborhood's got to come together to stop it.
I think it got to come from the community. It has to come from us. It have to be us to stand up. We know who's committing these acts.
In 2016, the number of drive-by shootings went up 51% in Kansas City from 2015. There were 389 shootings with 950 victims. Meanwhile, a Topeka woman is in custody this morning after being arrested for arson. This woman, 43-year-old Bernice Tilton, was arrested and accused of setting fire to an apartment complex. It happened just before 3 Friday afternoon at the Embassy Apartments on Gage, just north of I-470 in Topeka. The fire started in a first-floor apartment. There was a woman inside that apartment at the time, but she was able to get out before firefighters arrived on the scene. An apartment above was damaged by smoke. The fire caused about $400,000 in damages. A Missouri pilot who crashed his plane in a field near the small town of Roxbury, Kansas, says he has solved the mysterious crash that kept authorities stumped. Randy Shannon, who's a businessman from Drexel, says he crashed the plane as he tried to land on a roadway and glide into a parking spot. Since Shannon wasn't hurt and didn't damage any property, he just walked into town and told someone what happened, then he continued on to his business meeting. Shannon says he called federal and aviation officials to report the crash. In hindsight, he says he also should have notified local authorities about what had happened. Officials worry this year's potential for a fire outbreak in Kansas could be worse than it was last year. 2016 saw the state's biggest known wildfire. Jim Unruh, who's a volunteer fire department chief in Marquette, helped fight last year's Anderson Creek blaze that charred 390,000 acres in Kansas and Oklahoma. He says this year just scares him because of already dry conditions and a lot of fuel in some pastures. Kansas Forest Service fire specialist Eric Ward says the state had 3 large wildfires in January. Large is defined as a fire that burns at least 100 acres of trees or more than 300 acres of brush. Topics like wildfires are just one of the many set to be discussed in the coming week. Starting tomorrow, Kansas is going to be entering a statewide severe weather awareness week. This comes after Governor Brownback signed a proclamation last month commemorating the days between March 6th and 10th. The Kansas Division of Emergency Management will be placing special emphasis on being prepared and mindful of severe weather alerts. Deputies want to remind you to check your home emergency kit and discuss home emergency plans with your family.
Good morning, Northeast Kansas. Here is a quick check of your forecast for today. A high of 66 degrees, still mild and above normal, but cloudy and windy with those south winds at 20 to 25, gusting up to 30-35 miles per hour. Overnight lows tonight going down to 56 degrees with a chance of a pop-up shower. This is all ahead of our next storm system that will be giving us better chances of both showers and thunderstorms into your Monday before it gets mild and dry again. I'll have the complete breakdown for Monday's storms in the next 5 to 10 minutes. Austin?
An act of road rage left a Topeka man dead last fall. This morning we've got new details about the accused shooter's trial. That local story when we return. The time is 6:08 on your Sunday morning.